Alright, hello there, welcome back to another wee bit different video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about who is going to the Super Bowl. NFL divisional round just passed us by. We had some really good games. We've done a bracket fight talking about which teams we think will land where in terms of if they're done in the wild card, if they make it to divisionals and they're done, or if they make it to the conference championship. So we've done our bracket. This is our original bracket. Originally, I had the Browns winning, the Chiefs beating the Dolphins, the Bills beating the Steelers. On the NFC side, I had the Eagles winning, Lions and Cowboys. Obviously, we know that didn't happen with some of these. And then I had the Bills losing to the Ravens in the conference championship, and I had the Cowboys losing to the Niners in the conference championship. So this is our original bracket before the playoffs even started. Then last week when I edited the bracket after the wild card round when some of the teams lost, my prediction was Bills against Ravens, and then it was Niners against Lions. So I was 3 out of the 4 with the divisional round. But here we are currently now with the conference championship. We have the Ravens versus the Chiefs. We have the Niners versus the Lions. We're going to break down why I think what team will go where. Basically what I'm saying is what team will go to the Super Bowl and then who will win the Super Bowl in my opinion. Again, all this is entirely subjective until we actually get the results and we'll see who was right and who was wrong. Personally, I'm sticking with my guns. I do have the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. I did it in my original bracket. I also had the Niners in my original bracket. I prefer not to change things and sticking to my initial predictions. So I will say Ravens, I still will have as my Super Bowl favorites. But let's briefly talk about the Bills and the Chiefs. Really, really good game. It's just the Bills constantly letting themselves down. Receivers not making plays. Josh Allen not making some plays. The kicker obviously choking. Defensively, just absolutely shown to be vulnerable against this Patrick Mahomes-led offense. Also, funny enough, MVS had amazing clutch catches. Travis Kelce, 2 touchdowns. Running game solid enough to get them through, especially in that last drive to push for that first down. So Chiefs winning a really close one, and Bills fans, complete depression. Probably more depressing than the Cowboys. Maybe not. The reason why it might be though is because they've lost to the Chiefs 3 of the past 5 times. Okay, so between the Ravens and the Chiefs, if I'm being honest with you, this is how I think it's going to go down. I think the Chiefs defense will be able to get some stops, but ultimately it is the scrambling of Lamar Jackson that will just keep the Ravens offense on the field. I do believe the Ravens will be on the field for a good amount of plays. I think that with the explosiveness of guys like Zay Flowers, possibly the addition of Mark Andrews reinserted in that offense, I think they put up around 28, maybe 31 points. I think that offense is going to be going and going and going. Chiefs defense might get some stops. With the Chiefs, though, I think their offense is going to have their hands full with a team like the Ravens. Ravens are going to do such a good job of limiting Patrick Mahomes. But in my opinion, this is the only way the Chiefs win. The only way the Chiefs win is if the Ravens do a bad job of letting Patrick Mahomes run around the pocket and just prolong plays. I think if they don't get to him and they give him 5-6 seconds of time throughout his going through his progressions, I think the Chiefs will absolutely win this game if that were to happen, if the Ravens gave Patrick Mahomes all day, because Patrick Mahomes with time in the pocket is obviously unreal. Any quarterback can be unreal in that scenario, but Patrick Mahomes especially, always ready to sling it deep, always ready to prolong plays and run around outside of the pocket, inside the pocket, evading tackles, just doing his job to find open receivers. I think that's the only way the Chiefs can win this game, because their running game, Isaiah Pacheco is good, and the running game has been pretty solid, but this Ravens defense is too good to submit to that. They might give up like 50-60 rushing yards. There's no way that Pacheco pulls off, or even their entire running back room pulls off a 100-yard rushing game. So what it's going to come down to is, can Patrick Mahomes, drag out the plays and scramble around and find his receivers? That is the only way, in my opinion, that the Chiefs win this game. Aside from that, Baltimore offense should be able to do enough to get it done. Ravens defense, whether it's just applying pressure and forcing Mahomes to make quick throws, or whether it's getting to him before he can make those throws, or whether it's just rushing 4 people and their defense does a good enough job into holding off for that 3-4 seconds that they give Patrick Mahomes. The point is, don't let him have the ball in his hands for the majority of the time. Make him get it out. With that being said, though, Lamar Jackson and co. wholeheartedly believe they can get to the Super Bowl. On the flip side, we have the Lions and the Niners. Quickly talking about the Niners and the Packers. I was really disappointed with the Niners' performance. I thought they were completely vulnerable, a lot more than I thought they would be heading into the matchup. Packers easily could have won this game if a few things went their way. Brock Purdy was missing throws left and right. It was not a good performance from him. He definitely had opportunities to convert first downs and keep his team on the field longer, just missing some throws, unfortunately. He did have some good plays, obviously, which is really good, but with Deebo Samuel being out, losing a big weapon, they're going to have to heavily rely on Christian McCaffrey. But the Lions defense, you'd have to imagine, is not going to give a lot of running room to that man. They're going to be forcing Brock Purdy to make some plays. So really, it's going to be up to Brock Purdy to get him this win. And the Niners defense shown that it can be vulnerable too. They're susceptible to the big plays. And Lions, Monroe St. Brown, he's going to be running underneath routes, 10 yards, 12 yards on receptions. But not only that, they have guys like Jameson Williams, Josh Reynolds, who really they're going to be looking for those 20, 30-yard gains. And you can't sleep on Jahmyr Gibbs. So this game is probably going to be a lot more closer than I initially anticipated last week. I'm still going to hedge out the Niners here. I will still stick with my original prediction. But last week I thought it'd be like a 60-40. Now I'm thinking like it's a 52-48, right? Where I give the edge slightly to the Niners. I will say this game is like a 24-28 kind of game here. Maybe 21-24. I think that it, no matter what, will be a one-possession game. The Lions will keep it a one-possession game. If they win, I won't be surprised. It's going to be a close game. I think the Ravens can pull away. Can is the key word. It entirely depends on, again, how much they can force the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hand. So we'll see. But then again, we talked about it already in our very first video, why I think the Ravens will win. I stand by that pick. I think the Ravens will not only go to the Super Bowl, but I think they will win the Super Bowl. I've said it time and time again, and I will continue to say it for as long as they are in this playoff race. I'm a big believer in what they're doing this year. Their defense is just unreal on a whole nother level. Definitely the best defense Mahomes will have played all year. And in terms of the Chiefs defense, this is probably going to be the most trouble they've had all year because, again, the scrambling of Lamar Jackson is as good as you'll ever see. Easily comparable to Michael Vick. Those two players are very similar. Obviously, Michael Vick had a cannon, but what Lamar Jackson can do, and it's unreal how good their defense is. So I'm going to stick with the Ravens. This is my prediction. We'll see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think. And that divisional round was crazy. I'm not going to lie. Shout out to the Texans, though. They definitely gave their heart and soul this season, definitely exceeding all expectations. Honestly, all of these games were pretty good. Honestly, Buccaneers too showed some real promise, being able to hang in there with the Lions. This was a good divisional round. Let me know what you guys think, though. As always, I appreciate you for watching. This is All Even Different. We've been different, and we out.